All right, how's everyone doing? This is a new video series on my YouTube channel. Don't know what I'm going to name it yet. How about what the is mixing? Because people ask me all the time, like, what is it do you do? Like, you mix? Like, what is mixing? So, for artists in the industry, know what mixing is, right? But the average Joe doesn't. So, this is a video for that. I'm going to be mixing tonight Osceola Dubois' song Legacy. It is off of his 1 Minute Till Midnight album, and great album. Go check it out. It's on all streaming platforms, including SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, all that. Kicks ass. Album's great. I got to mix the whole thing. What's cool is that Osceola is actually from San Diego, so he recorded all the vocals in San Diego and then sent them to me out here in Northwest Indiana. Awesome, right? Gotta love technology. Let's open up the session now. Let's open up the song. So this song, Legacy, is composed of a two-track beat, which is two-track beat is simply you got two tracks. We got our left track, we got our right track. Makes up two tracks. That's why we call it a two-track, okay? I don't have the instruments separately tracked out. I have a two-track and I have vocal tracks. The blue tracks are verse tracks. The red tracks are hook tracks. Simple. Boom. All right. First things first, what I do with any mix is I clean up all the dead space. So all of this I'm going to clean up for you. Actually, O does a great job at cleaning up stuff for me, which I appreciate it because it makes an engineer's job a lot easier. Now, my advice to artists is this. Be careful when you clean up breaths or take breaths out or trim clips, because sometimes you might take out a little too much. Sometimes you might take out something that's important. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right. So I'm going to clean all this up. Okay, this is the first step. It's just editing. Cleaning up dead space. Right? Get in here. Clean all this up. Clean this up. Like I said, O does a really great job with cleaning stuff up for me. Now, Derek, shouldn't you listen to it? Well, what I'm doing is I'm just cleaning up stuff that's not too close to the clips. And then, like I said, since I know O, right, has cleaned this stuff up already, I'm not going to go in here in this video and get real intricate with it because I don't want to waste your time. Okay, so what is mixing? This blue button right here, this is Studio One Professional. That blue button is an activate all inserts button, okay? What that's going to do is when I turn it off, it's going to deactivate all of my plugins, all of my inserts, all of my sends, the mastering bus, the mixing bus, okay? It's going to deactivate all that. So I'm going to play the song for you before all my effects and then after when they're applied. This is what mixing is. I take this.
Metaphor's heavy. Stepping out on the balcony of this little apartment and get it gone. Life's a trip.
And I turn it into that.
Momentum and get the victory banner and never.
I take this.
Metaphor's heavy. Stepping out on the balcony of this little.
And I turn it into this.
Metaphor's heavy. Stepping out on the balcony of this little apartment and get it gone. Life's a trip.
Simple, right? Simple. That's what mixing is. Mixing is getting stuff to sound good, getting the sonics to sound right, getting the song ready for a commercial, for commercial quality purposes, streaming, SoundCloud, radio, anything like that. Okay, that's what my job as a mixer is to do, is to get it to sound clear, get it to sound good, get it to have some feeling, right? So you feel the track when you listen to it, and to get it up to commercial quality standards. Okay. First things first, how do I work this, right? I see what I have, real simple song. I actually mixed this in like 15, 20 minutes. And honestly, like, the mix is probably like one of the best mixes on the record. Definitely. First things first, the beat.
On this afternoon, the metaphor is heavy.
The beat's nice, okay? There's some things we wanted to do with this album, and that is we wanted it to have a certain feel to it, a certain vibe. That was the goal. My job as the engineer is to try to achieve that vibe, That's your job, right? So one thing we can do, and what I did with this song, I said, man, it needs to hit a little more. I want some more sub lows. I want some mid lows. So let's go in here. We open up a multi-band dynamics processor here, and we're gonna add it to the beat. So right here, we got our low band, we got our low mid band. The low band is going to mess with more of the sub lows and anything up to about 70 hertz. What do we got? 82 hertz. And then we've got the low mid band. It's getting everything from 82 hertz to 291. So this low mid, you're going to get more of the kick. This low, you're going to get the meat. Okay. That's off. This is on. Anytime you see that blue button go like that, this is on, this is off, this is on, this is off. This is how all the plugins are. All right. So we achieved the feeling. We got the sub low we wanted. We got the kick feeling how we wanted it. Awesome.
Been out on the balcony of this little apartment and get it going.
All right. Sweet. Sounds killer. Like it already. Another thing we did with the beat is we added a parallel track to the beat. So parallel processing is when you take pretty much the main track, you duplicate it without duplicating it, and then you process the duplicate, even though it's not technically a duplicate, with some type of compressor or some type of effect. And what you do with that duplicate and that duplicate you affected is you use it to boost the main signal, the main channel, the main track of the beat, okay? So we go over here to our parallel beat, P beat, labeled in white, right? All my parallels I put in white, all right? And I got a 1176 to it. So let's hear what this 1176 is doing to the beat. All right, so what I hear is the low end, it's moving more. I got some more snap, some more crackle, some more pop in the high end. Okay, it's making it a little bit more exciting. And so with this parallel, we just tuck it so we can complement the main track. There we go. Now I actually have the attack and release set on the slower side. Reason why for me, sometimes when you crush stuff in parallel, it just doesn't sound right. And when I crush this beat, it takes a lot out of it, a lot of feeling out of it. So I set the attack and the release kind of moderate to slow, which I like.
Metaphor is heavy.
All right, that's the beat. That's the beat. Let's ride this beat out a little bit. All right, that beat is sounding really nice, so let's move on to the vocal. All right, so we already edited our vocal. We took out the dead space that we needed to take out. All right, this is just minor vocal editing. There's a lot more to vocal editing, believe me, but we're not going to do it here in this video. I want to show you the fun stuff. Vocal chains. Everyone likes the vocal chain. First things first on the vocal bus. Vocal buses, beat bus, labeled in black here. I had to gain stage it up a little bit. The vocal was really, really low. So I did that. Next thing, I added a noise suppressor. I want to take the noise out of the vocal. This NS1 from Waves, it's a pretty killer plugin. Takes out the noise. We got that. Okay, our next plugin here, let me scroll down a little bit for you. We got our Pro EQ. So I wanted to notch out frequencies before it started getting processed, before it started hitting my compressors, before it started hitting the preamps, and all that. I felt like it was important to take out the stuff that was bad before I started applying effects. So let's hear what this EQ is doing. I'm going to do it really fast for you. I don't want to bore you. I'm going to show you what I'm taking out.
You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth. Or a lesson in patience within the sacrifice. Eyes leave you the throne. Am I gonna coast? Hell nah, I'm a smoke. Them little lungs couldn't take it. I suggest you hit the loud and get a spot. Hit the ground before I break it. Is you silly nigga sick? I'm the only one that's cold.
So that's the vocal soloed, the EQing soloed. I'm going to show you it in context here. Off and on. Remember, off and on. Blue light is effects on. Blue light off is effects off.
You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth. Or a lesson in patience within the sacrifice. Eyes leave you the throne. Am I gonna coast? Hell nah, I'm a smoke. Them little lungs couldn't take it. I suggest you hit the loud and get a spot. Hit the ground before I break.
All right, so what it does is it carves out the low end of the vocal, right, with this high pass here. And I'm notching out frequencies that I don't like that sound bad. I'll show you some of those.
You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth. Or a lesson in patience within.
Hear that underwater kind of feel, that sound, underwater sound. Okay, we don't want that, so we notch that out.
You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth. Or a lesson in patience within the sacrifice. Eyes leave you the throne. Am I gonna coast? Hell nah, I'm a smoke.
We don't like how that sounds either, so we take that out. Okay, so right here, this green one, it's about 3 kilohertz. You get a lot of digital noise, stuff like that. Listen to it. You might get some whistling.
You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth.
Oh, no, baby. What is you doing? We do not want that. No, no, no. So we are going to cut that as well, and this is what we get.
You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth. Or a lesson in patience within the sacrifice. Eyes leave you the throne.
Cool. So by taking out that low end with this high pass, you know, we actually made the vocal a little brighter, and it sits in the mix better.
You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth. Or a lesson in patience within the sacrifice.
Not bad. Not bad at all. All right, so let's move on to the next thing. So the next thing, what I did was I wanted to cut before I started enhancing the sound, the characteristics of the vocal. So we have a Avalon VT 737 channel strip here. Badass plugin from Universal Audio. I highly recommend their products. Amazing, dude. Game-changing for me, that's for sure. And that's no bullshit. And there's a reason why they're priced so expensive. And let me tell you, they're worth every penny. Okay, so first things first. I'll run through this channel strip real quick. First knob is a preamp gain.
You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know. So it's growth. Or a lesson within the sacrifice. Eyes leave you the throne. Am I gonna coast? Hell nah, I'm a smoke. Them little lungs couldn't take it.
So we hear what that gain knob's doing. We're adding gain. We're adding the characteristics of the channel strip to the vocal.
You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it.
How do you know when enough is enough? I'll set it to 0, and I'll play the whole song.
Apartment and get it going. Life's a trip. You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth. Or a lesson in patience within the sacrifice. Eyes leave you the throne. Am I gonna coast?
So I want enough gain to help boost the signal without adding a bunch of kind of nasty characteristics. Because if you turn up too much gain, then you start getting some nasty stuff. And it's not really, you don't want those kind of characteristics. Do what's appropriate for the song. There's no rules, okay? Some songs you might boost that a little more. Some songs you might even turn it down. So next thing is the high pass filter. Again, we got this set at about 150. This is for more tone shaping.
Apartment and get it going. Life's a trip. You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it.
It's got a different curve than the Pro EQ that we used prior. Next section, we got the compressor, the threshold, compression, attack, release. I got the attack actually set fat. I got it set the dial not like moderate, but then I got it compressing at 4 times the speed. So
apartment and get it going. Life's a trip. You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth.
So what's that compressor doing? Let's listen to it.
Apartment and get it going. Life's a trip. You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth.
So this in button right here, when that's off, that means the compressor's off. When it's red, that means it's on.
Apartment and get it going. Life's a trip. You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth. Or a lesson in patience within the sacrifice.
So what it's doing is it's capturing those peaks. So let's listen to it in context here with the song.
Apartment and get it going. Life's a trip. You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth. Or a lesson in patience within the sacrifice. Eyes leave you the throne. Am I gonna coast?
So that's the compressor. Next, we got the EQ. We got bass, low mids, high mids, treble, right? O's voice is already deep. O's voice has got some low end in it. I didn't really want to do too much with the low end. I felt like it was nice and smooth, nice and warm. So we wanted to add some high mids and some treble to just help the vocal stand out in the mix a little more, to give it some clarity. So I'll show you what these knobs are doing.
Apartment and get it going, life's a trip. You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth, or a lesson in patience within the sacrifice. Eyes leave you the throne. Am I gonna coast? Yeah, nah, I'm a smoke little lungs.
So we turn the bass down just a little bit. It's a little high shelf at 150. I just like how it sounds, a little bit less bass cut out.
Apartment and get it going, life's a trip. You can regain momentum and get the victory banner.
With this low end, I wanted to carve out some 350, so I carved out some 350.
Apartment and get it going, life's a trip. You can regain momentum and get the victory banner.
High mids, I'll show you what this knob does. Frequency we're boosting is 1 kilohertz, 1.2 actually.
Apartment and get it going,
or 1200.
Life's a trip. You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth, or a lesson in patience within the sacrifice. Eyes leave you the throne. Am I gonna coast?
Right, add a little more high mid to his vocal. And then we got the treble knob here, which is at 20K, 20 kilohertz, which is high. This is going to add air to the vocal, so I'll turn this up and I'll turn this down so you can hear what it does.
Apartment and get it going, life's a trip. You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth, or a lesson in patience within the sacrifice. Eyes leave you the throne.
Right, air, gives you air. I'm going to show you in context
Apartment and get it.
What these knobs do when it comes to the mix. I think you'll be kind of amazed by it.
Apartment and get it going, life's a trip. You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth, or a lesson in patience within the sacrifice. Eyes leave you the throne. Am I gonna coast? Hell nah, I'm a smoke. Little lungs couldn't take it. I suggest you hit the loud and get a spot. Hit the ground before I break it. Is you silly nigga sick? I'm the only one that's cold. As I burn standing naked while I'm losing all control. Back and forth, nothing like.
You hear what those knobs are doing? How when we affect and we turn down that high mid knob all the way, and how we turn down that treble knob all the way, how buried that vocal gets, right? Crazy, right? Crazy, right? So those are our settings for our preamp, for our channel strip there. Next thing, I always stack compressors. I use multiple compressors. Here's an LA2A, really simple to use. We got the peak reduction knob. That's going to give us our compression. And then we got the gain knob. What's going to happen is when you compress a signal, you're actually going to turn the gain down of it, okay? Because it's capturing the peaks, right? It's going to take the high peaks and it's going to bring them down. So the more you compress something, it's going to take those loud peaks and make them lower, sound lower in volume, and it's going to, because it's compressing the hell out of them, and then it's going to take the lows and it's going to boost those lows up. So let's listen to that compressor. I'm going to exaggerate it, I'm going to A and B it, and then I'm going to play it in context for you.
Apartment and get it going, life's a trip. You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth, or a lesson in patience within the sacrifice. Eyes leave you the throne. Am I gonna coast? Hell nah, I'm a smoke. Them little lungs couldn't take it. I suggest you hit the loud and get a spot. Hit the.
Right. I apologize if it gets a little too loud, if it clips the signal, but I just want to exaggerate it for you. Okay. So we go back to our settings. Let's hear this in context, and then we're gonna A and B it.
Apartment and get it going. Life's a trip. You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know.
A and B it. Context.
Apartment and get it going. Life's a trip. You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth, or a lesson in patience within the sacrifice. Eyes leave you the throne. Am I gonna coast? Hell nah, I'm a smoke. Little lungs.
So you can hear what that compressor's doing is it's compressing the signal. It's compressing those peaks. It's also turning it down in volume. And what's nice is sometimes you don't even have to touch a fader on something. Sometimes you can use the compressors to help set your volume levels. And that's how you can dial in a compressor volume-wise. You don't have to usually tend to crank up the gain knob if you don't have to. You know, you can find levels with the peak reduction on this thing, which is pretty badass. Now, there ain't nothing wrong with turning up the gain knob, and I'll show you.
Apartment and get it going.
Because if you want to compress more, you're gonna need more gain. So I'll show you what that sounds like.
Apartment and get it going. Life's a trip. You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth, or a lesson in patience within the sacrifice. Eyes leave you the throne.
So see, we had to turn the gain knob up because we turned the peak reduction knob up. The only thing is now we're getting more characteristics from the compressor. We're actually squashing the signal. We're maybe giving it some more digital distortion that we don't want. And yeah, so that's what the compressor is. That's the LA2A for you on the signal. Let's see what else we got going on here. The next is de-essing. We're taking out the sibilants, all the S's, right? It's going to get some of the nasty shit around like 6 kilohertz. So you're going to hear like some of the ch's and the t's and stuff that sits up high, right? Higher mids.
You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth, or a lesson in patience within the sacrifice. Eyes leave you the throne. Am I gonna coast? Hell no, I'm a smoke. Little lungs couldn't take it. I suggest you hit the loud and get it.
So all the gold bars are where the de-essing is taking place. Badass little de-esser plugin right there. Get it with the Slate Digital All Access Pass. Badass. So next thing is stereo imaging.
You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth.
So what we're doing is we're taking a mono vocal that was recorded in mono. We're routing it to the Vox bus, which is a stereo bus. And then we're going to add a stereo imager to make that wider. So it sits in the mix wider and gives the vocal more stereo sound.
You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth, or a lesson in patience within the sacrifice.
It's hard to hear. You can hear it more in headphones. You can hear it more on monitors. I'm going to play it in context for you.
You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth, or a lesson in patience within the sacrifice. Eyes leave you the throne. Am I gonna coast?
What it does is it really smoothens out the vocal. Really nice trick. I wouldn't say if it's a trick. A lot of guys know about it. A lot of guys do it. Next thing with this vocal, I did a lot of parallel processing. Paralleling, like I said, with the beat. We take pretty much like we duplicate the main track of what we're paralleling and we add a bunch of effects to it. You can add whatever you want to a parallel track. You can over compress it. You can distort it. You can mangle the shit out of the signal, or you can hit it with some light compression, reverb, parallel reverbs, all kinds of stuff. And it's nice, and I'll show you what those parallels tracks soloed and then in context with the mix. Right, we gotta do it in context with the mix. So let's see here.
You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth.
So we got 3 parallel tracks on this song for the vocal. We got the P-Vox, which is pretty much my main parallel.
You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth, or a lesson in patience within the sacrifice. Eyes leave you the throne. Am I gonna coast? Hell no, I'm a smoke. Little lungs couldn't take it. I suggest you hit the loud and get a spot. Hit the ground before I break it.
All right, I'm gonna turn up the meter for the parallel.
You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth, or a lesson in patience with.
So on this parallel, we got an 1176 on there. Slow to moderate attack, slower release. It's hitting.
You can regain
I'm not really
momentum
smashing
and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth, or a lesson in patience within the sacrifice. Eyes leave you the throne. Am I gonna coast?
I just wanted to add more kind of beef to it. I wanted the vocal to sound thicker for this. So I'm going to play it in the mix, and I'm going to play it in context. I'm going to turn it down. I'm going to turn it up.
You can regain momentum and get the victory banner and never know it. So it's growth, or a lesson in patience within the sacrifice. Eyes leave you the throne. Am I gonna coast? Hell no, I'm a smoke. Little lungs couldn't take it. I suggest you hit the all control back and forth. Go until it's gone. No, we're not on these up. Greatest story ever told. Still, you gotta read up on the pedigree. My dreams.
Right, so that's one parallel. Another parallel, I have a saturation parallel. I'll show you what that's doing.
Go until it's gone. No, we're not on these up. Greatest story ever told. Still, you gotta read up on the pedigree. My dreams up ahead. They seen I'll forever be chained to it. I could never lean when you measure me. Cause I'm leaving my.
So the soft tube saturation knob I'm using here, I'm boosting the hell out of it. all the way up. I'm keeping it low because I feel like if I keep it higher, if neutral, I get some nasty mid range. I get some nasty highs. And like I said, I wanted this vocal to be thicker. And I got the saturation, the levels turned down pretty low, so you barely hear it. But I'll just play it in context for you.
Go until it's gone. No, we're not on these up. Greatest story ever told. Still, you gotta read up on the pedigree. My dreams up ahead of me. They seen up.
See, it's just character, man. You're adding more to the signal, and it's badass. So I got another parallel here with a different kind of compressor. When you parallel compressors, don't really want to use the same compressors that you have on your main signal, because the paralleling, it's about adding characteristics. So you want to add characteristics you maybe don't have, right? Or sometimes you can add characteristics that you want to enhance, but we're just doing compressors right now. You can parallel EQ as well. I didn't do it on this song. I felt like it just didn't need it.
Go until it's gone. No, we're not on these up. Greatest story ever told.
So as you see, I got the ratio is pretty low, 2-7-1. The attack is slow, and the release is moderate. Balanced. I do have some EQ going on here. A little boost on the high, a little cut on the low. Give this parallels maybe some shimmer, and have this parallel compressor stand out more on the high end of things. So I'll play it in context for you.
Go until it's gone. No, we're not on these up. Greatest story ever told. Still, you gotta read up on the pedigree.
Right, just really more adding some polish. Okay, so that is the vocal chain. Let's get into the effects. Okay, this song, I didn't want to add a lot of reverb. For the vocal, I wanted it to be up front. I wanted people to feel it. The song is about feeling, right? I want you to feel it. So I didn't want to bury the vocal in reverb. And I felt like for this song, it didn't need it. But I wanted to add some depth. I wanted to help smooth the vocal out a little bit more. And so I added this nice Echo Boy Jr. plugin from Sound Toys, which is badass. And I'm going to show you what the echo sounds like with the vocal soloed.
I'm a small little lungs couldn't take it.
Let's go to the hook, because this hook is slamming.
The game. Go until it's gone. No, we're not on these up. Greatest story ever told.
Right, that's the echo. I got an 8th note echo, set wide, a little low cut. Take out some of the muckiness, the muddiness. Let's listen to it in context with the song. I'm going to play it solo, and then I'm going to turn the song on.
The game. Go until it's gone. No, we're not on these up. Greatest story ever told. Still, you gotta read up on the pedigree. My dreams up ahead of me. They seen I'll forever be chained to it. I could never lean when you measure me. Cause I'm leaving my legacy. I'd rather die than let it go. Leaving my legacy.
Right? Echo, man. Helps it sit in the mix better. Gives it a cool vibe. Sounds fucking awesome. I love Echo. And yes, I'm not sorry for the swearing. We're all humans, right? I know y'all said a cuss word or two in your day. A lot of truck drivers and sailors out there. I know that for sure. Okay, so that's the echo and the vocal. So that's the vocal. That's the beat. I have some stuff in the mix bus. It's not really doing much. It's just some extra added compression that all the signals are hitting together to help try to glue it. Here's a Slate Digital VBC FG MU compressor.
The game. Go until it's gone. No, we're not on these up. Greatest story ever told. Still, you gotta read up on the pedigree. My dreams up ahead of me. They seen I'll forever be chained to it. I could never lean when you measure me. Cause I'm leaving my legacy. I'd rather die than let it go. Leaving my legacy. But when I go.
So that compressor, I'm barely hitting it. As you can see, this meter here.
The game. Go until it's gone.
Keeping it in between 0 and 1. What it's doing is it's adding a little more shimmer. It's tightening everything up. Sounds beautiful. I got some de-essing going in before it hits the master bus to capture the sibilance that my other de-essers did not catch. And then I have my mix tool here. This is to set the gain down. So sometimes what happens is, okay, when you gain stage, that's usually the first thing you do when you mix, and I didn't do it. I didn't show you, but I did do it. Okay, so when you gain stage, right, we got everything highlighted. As you can see here, it's negative 10.8 dB. What's going to happen is you're going to gain stage, you're going to start mixing, and you're going to get your levels right? And your levels are sounding good. Everything's feeling good. and then you go over here and the signal is just going into the mix bus super loud. It's going into your master super loud. It's distorting. What are we going to do to fix that? I like all my levels. I like them all, right? So you can turn down meters, right? You're going to have to turn down every meter, every fader, or you can do this gain staging trick. I've seen some pros do it. Makes things easier. Like I said, if your levels are good, if you're vibing, if you're jamming to the song, we're going to take a gain knob or a mix tool here in Studio One, and we're just going to turn the gain down on everything that's going in the mix bus. Right, and what that's going to do is it's going to give us headroom before we hit our master here, so I'll show you with the master off how loud it's coming in. So right here, that negative 9, that -7, it's bouncing from that to -6. Okay, that's how much headroom now we're allowing for mastering. Okay, and then that's when we apply our masters and we get that song back loud again. So that is the mix bus. Okay, last thing I do, I go back through the song, and I try to do things with the beat. This is where the artistic mixing comes in, and I'll show you here. There's two things with this song that kick ass, and I'll show you. We have this over here. So this, let me bring this down. So right here, we've got these 4 kicks. Okay, so I'll show you what this wave looked like before I put these kicks in. I felt like the hook needed something else to make it, like, just sound badass. What's going on here? Jesus. First day, guys, first day. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm going to show you what I did. They seen I forever me. They seen I forever me. They seen I forever up. Chain to what I could never leans up. A dreams up ahead of me. They seen. All right, so those are just kicks that I found in the song. All right, so this is the beat without those kicks. This is the song without those kicks in it. My dreams up ahead of me. They seen I forever be chained to what I could never lean. Okay, so that's without the kicks, and this is with the kicks. My dreams up ahead of me. They seen I forever be chained to what I could never lean. Right, just adds a little something to that hook, a little ear candy for you, which I want to give you. I want to give you the ear candy. Okay, so next thing, here's artistic mixing. One thing I like to do is when I listen to lyrics, and I hear a lyric that gives me a word or a phrase that sounds like an effect I know I can use. For example, I reverse the verse and I put you in a hearse. Reverse key. What can I do? I can go into the beat and I can reverse a part of that beat where he says reverse. Right? So the lyrics will complement the beat. The lyrics will give me an idea of what to do effect-wise to the beat. This song right here, this lyric, I'm going to play it for you. Solo the vocal for you so you can hear just the lyric. Line state the way I'm overlooked, but I get it, it's a time warp. Gotta move the gauge to be time warp. I said, hey, I can make a warp sound, so this is what I did. Here's your time warp. Line state the way I'm overlooked, but I get it, it's a time warp. Gotta move the gauge to be gleam. Oh, yeah, buddy. So we got the time warp there. Right? What this is just a filter. Meta filter stereo from meta filter from Waves. We got a little sequence low filter on there. LFO, I mean, time warp. Gotta move the gauge to be gleam. Right? I'll play it without the filter. And then with the filter. State the way I'm overlooked, but I get it, it's a time warp. Gotta move the gauge to be gleam. With the filter. State the way I'm overlooked, but I get it, it's a time warp. Gotta move the gauge to be gleam. Yeah, buddy. Just adds a little something extra, man. Adds a little bit of ear candy. Um, it sounds dope, right? That's what's important. Does it sound good? And it sounds good. And I did actually put some more of those kicks in every hook,
They say
right? I did that. And then that's all I really did with the beat. Other than that, yeah, that's it. So this song is Legacy by Osceola Dubois. Go listen to it on all streaming platforms, SoundCloud. Check his album out, 1 Minute Till Midnight. You can check me out at durishmusic.com, Durish music.com. Book me, send me some audio. I want to help you make your song sound awesome. So that is the goal. So thank you for watching my new video. It's my new video series. Hopefully you stay tuned. Subscribe on YouTube. All that. Check me out on Instagram at Durish Music. And let's make some hits, people. Let's make some hits. Keep grinding. Thank you all for watching.